Welcome to WineWire, everybody, and the place where you will find wine you cannot find in stores. My name is Adam, and we have a very, very special guest today, a man who knows a little bit about odd Italian red grapes, which is the theme of today's show, my friends. This is Joe Alberti from Vertical Restaurant. Joe, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, Joe, tell us a little about Vertical, because I know it's kind of it's becoming an establishment in downtown Toronto. It is an establishment.
Absolutely. We've been around for about 7 years now. We're located in First Canadian Place, right at King and Bay. We serve authentic Italian cuisine made with local ingredients, all from Ontario.
Well, that's convenient, because we have 2 Italian wines today.
Perfect.
All right, so without much ado, we have 2 wines from Italy that are very, very different, but very same in one respect. They are made from grapes that I guarantee you probably haven't heard of. We have one from northern Italy from Peter Zemmer from Alto Adige, and we have one from Puglia made from the Nero di Troia grape. Let's get going. Joe, right, set up the first one.
All right, the first wine is, as Adam mentioned, the Lagrein from Peter Zemmer from Alto Adige. Alto Adige is located in northeastern Italy, right on the border of Germany. And as with many Italian grapes, the Lagrein is native to Alto Adige. You will not find this grape anywhere else other than Alto Adige. Typical of this sort of region is the reds are very sort of white pepper in style, and it goes well with a lot of different types of cuisine.
Well, first of all, the nose on this thing is just, I mean, there's a lot of black fruit here. Yeah. We're talking like plum and black currant and blackberries, but it's very nuanced. It's not overpowering. I mean, there's definitely that spicy, that white pepper note that you smell on, that you can get on it, but it's very nuanced. And I think this has a lot to do with where it's grown. Obviously, grapes and place are the main drivers here. So we have a very interesting grape in Lagrein, but northern Italy, a little bit of altitude, keeps everything in kind of nice balance. And it's got a beautiful nose. But how's it going on the palate?
Well, on the palate, I find that
that's delicious.
Again, you get some of that white pepper, as Adam was saying, that dark fruit, but I find a lot of licorice in this. A little bit of licorice, a little bit of sort of that white pepper, greener type fruit that you would find in a sort of, for example, like a Shiraz or a Cabernet from California. A little bit more mild, let's say.
This one reminds me a lot, especially that peppery note, of Northern Rome. You know, maybe a little bit of a Grenache-based one. Very, a little bit different, a little more nuanced, a little softer. But you know, if you like Northern Rome, if you like that kind of style of wine, this Lagrein is a perfect kind of compatriot to that.
I agree. I think, and part of the reason for that is the oak aging that this wine has. I mean, it's done in large barrel oak, so it takes away a lot of that white pepper that you would find with the Syrah grape or Grenache grape, typical of Rome.
It's very different. Listen, I'm telling you, this is the reason why you shouldn't be afraid to try something new. You know, you go into the LCBO, you go into on a restaurant wine list. This may not be the top of your choice because you don't recognize it, but man, you got to take a flyer every once in a while and you get a great wine. Especially this one comes in just over $22, which is a great value. No matter what way you cut it, regardless of what grape is in the bottle. So this got my vote for a decent. All right.
Highly recommended.
All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, this one I guarantee you've never tried before. This is the Santa Lucia Vigna del Melograno. I can't put that.
Pretty good.
I did, not bad, eh? Nelson, I am getting better. This is made 100% from the Nero di Troia grape. The wine is actually from southern Italy, from a region called Puglia. Now, the origins of this grape, now there is a variety of, I want to say, stories behind this grape, we'll leave it at that, I think. Check out our Facebook page. There'll be a question about what this Nero di Troia actually means. But traditionally, it has been a grape that's been used to be blended into other wines, mostly just to balance out, because this is a very tannic wine. So it's been generally blended into grapes like Montepulciano. But in the last 15 years, there's been more attention to creating single varietal examples of Nero di Troia. 2 things that have happened. I know we're getting into a little bit of nerd talk here, but growers have reduced the yields, so they're not producing as much, and they've also tried to concentrate the size of the berries. That has really taken out a lot of the herbaceous, the green notes that underripe grapes actually present themselves. So, let's give it a try. You've given it a sniff. What do you think, Joe?
Yes. Well, I get a lot of the dark brooding fruit as opposed to the Lagrein we just tried. This is more stewed berry. Like, you know, when you're making jam or something like that, it's got that really deep sort of dark brooding type fruit. And and typical of Southern Italy, just because of the heat, really.
Oh, man.
Because it's so much hotter than Lagrein, for example, where Alto Adige is, you get that darker, more heat brooding fruit.
The palate is exactly like that. You've got those stewed fruits, those really kind of well extracted, warm black fruit profile. It's a really nice wine. But unlike Lagrein, this is way more in your face. Like literally, this is a wine that is meant to be meant to be eaten with beef. Like literally, go in your car, go knock over a cow, and just grill it up. Because this is something that really needs that kind of structure, that kind of heaviness to break down the tannin. There's a lot of tannin in this wine. It's integrated and it's there, but it needs to stand up to something that has the strength.
No, I agree. It's the tannin. I was surprised by how much tannin there really is in this wine, which gives a great indication of red meat, all red meat. And it's just, like, again, that dark brooding fruit. Great for anybody who loves like a Shiraz, Australian Shiraz.
Absolutely.
California Cab. For $19.95, great deal. Definitely great deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, Joe, we've tasted two wines that generally are a little more obscure, but overall the quality's been pretty smack on.
Value for money, can't beat it. Absolutely.
Both these wines are available here on WineWire. The links to these wines with a whole bunch of more product information are directly below here. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. As I said, there will be some skill testing questions around this episode on our Facebook page. Facebook is facebook.com/WineWire. Twitter is @WineWireCA. I should get those right because those are important. Joe, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Adam.
Really appreciate it. And
appreciate it.
You are invited back any time.
I will be back.
Perfect.
All right.
All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. Bye, guys.